here as imperialists. We have returned home as the indigenous people to our own homeland, and there's basically nothing that the world or the Arab world can do about it. Whatever attempts they've tried won't succeed. The meek or timid Jew living in some ghetto or shtetl under the Nazis or under the Tsar or under whoever it may be, the Paritz. We are today a strong people who have come back to our land. We're back here now, and no amount of Arab terrorism, violence or hatred is going to kick me out. And they will be eaten up for breakfast. You know, it's a saying from Australia that may be taken the wrong way, but it doesn't mean that me personally will handle it, because we have authorities here. Any Arab that wants to drive me out, someone that wants to... What would you do to that? Someone that wants to drive me out, someone that wants to stab my, God forbid, my children like we've seen before, you know, that person will be eaten up for breakfast. Now, that won't be something I would do personally. The Jewish people, the state, the police, whatever has to be done, they will be handled. Not only are we looking over the Temple Mount here, you know, the place where the Golden Dome is, you know, that's the place, the Holy of Holies. This is what the Arab world wants, and this is what they'll never get. Abraham's children don't get along. Some brothers don't get along. In this particular case, in fact, it's even worse, because there's parts of a very, very violent streak in Esav and Yishmael, which is the combination and part of the Muslim world today. There's a dictum that says Esav hates Jacob. Was he upset that Abraham or Isaac only gave certain blessings to him and certain other blessings to him? The children of Abraham have been blessed in many different ways. But the Jewish people, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, King David, King Solomon, all the way to little Daniel Luria today in Jerusalem, is this one chain that's been blessed in a different way. The little land of Israel, we have the covenant with God. We have returned home. The Zionist dream is being realized all the time. And as the indigenous people here, the world, and especially the Arab world, is going to have to understand that at some point in time.
Today I live in Sheikh Jarrah, but I live spiritually, if I may say so, in the western part of the city. I wasn't born yet in 1948 during the Nakba, but I feel that the Nakba is grounded in me. These tiles are tiles which I got from my father's house. Actually, I repossessed these tiles when the house was put on sale, and they were uprooting all the tiles and all what is in the house. I chose to put them and document my history and my story. Our ultimate goal is actually to preserve cultural heritage, and precisely Palestinian cultural heritage in Jerusalem, knowing very well that on a daily level, Israel attempts to erase everything called Palestinian, anything non-Jewish. Therefore, you think how you want to preserve and protect your traditions, your rituals, your roots, whether it's the language, food, falafel, hummus, whether it's the kufiya and the embroidered dresses, that Israel is taking them all as representation. I will accept not to claim my father's house. And I thought, okay, I'll accept that for the sake of peace. I'll accept not claiming my father's house for the sake of my son living in justice, inequality, and freedom. I see a very, 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 very sad, depressing situation we live in. I am very worried about my living here.
emotional and very about Jerusalem and about her father's house that was stolen and about all this stuff. So she's very attached to the past and to the emotional heritage, let's call it. For me, for example, I try to focus more on the present. What to do in the present, like what can make my life better now. I'm an artist, so this is important for my art because my art is not ready-made. It's also about exploration and investigation.
I'm receiving this because I subscribed. I just thought that I would show a little bit, but I'm feeling very interested in this, so I'm going to watch it till the end. And I'm not trying to tease anybody, but you know, it's very important to get an education, and I'm a true believer in peace, world peace. And if you want to watch this, and you're in Canada, and you are a subscriber, Shaw Cable or Rogers Cable, I'm sure you have. You can get this channel. It's called Al Jazeera, and you can probably find this documentary somewhere in cyberspace. That nowadays there's no excuse for no peace in the world. So please be my guest and learn, get as much education as you can. And I'm the voice of a 77-year-old old woman. I'm not an old woman. I've never been old before. But when you're 21 or 18 or 35 or 45, you would look at me and say, you're an old woman. You're not as beautiful as you used to be. Well, yeah, I was. I was a knockout at age 17 in the city of Toronto, where, you know, if it wasn't for Jewish people, I wouldn't even have an education today. I had a beautiful home in New Toronto, and I was attending Shaw Business College, and I helped Mr. and Mrs. Jack Wolf with their children. They had 2 children, and I learned about bar mitzvah, and I learned about bat mitzvah, and I learned an awful lot, and I lived on Briar Hill Avenue in Toronto, Ontario, just down the street from where Lorne Green lived with his twins, the Bonanza. You know the Bonanza. If you're my age, you will remember Bonanza from the good old days. And I was 16 years old, and I was going to business college with Marilyn Fibus and Sylvia Fine, and we had a friend named Wally Greenspoon, and he took me to us 3 girls, kids, took us to the, what do you call it, that drive-through restaurant. I don't know what it was called. I think it was the very first A&W. It could have been. I don't remember that much. But we used to call the streetcar on Bathurst Street the Palestine Express. Now, how did it get that nickname? I don't know. I was just a kid, and I was considered a Gentile. So I learned the word Gentile. So I don't know why I find the Middle Eastern documentary, it's just so interesting. I have a recent pen pal friend, if you will, and she's 2 years older than me, and she lives in Bradford, UK. And she told me her husband watches this. So I started watching it, and now I have to pay $4 a month to watch it. But they won't let me have the credit. They make me pay $4 a month. And I've been a customer for years and years and years, and I've always paid my bill. And darn it, Shaw Cable wants every penny from me. But, you know, I don't mind, Judith. Thank you, Judith. But I'm going to continue to watch this documentary. Thanks. Thanks for your attention, people. Here I am with the glasses. I don't know if you even see me, But yeah, I'm really gung-ho to watch this. Very, very interesting documentary, I'm assuming. And the man that's speaking is from a